question number 1, how do you get over the trauma bond?
So a trauma bond, I mean, listen, the reality is that is something working with a therapist or somebody that is really experienced, because a trauma bond is a bond that typically happens between a narcissist or an abuser and their abusee. So as the victim of a trauma bond, what happens is we go through a phase. So it comes on with total admiration and affection. That's why the love bombing phase. This person gets you to trust them implicitly. Look how much they love me. Then we move to the next phase of degrading. Then they start to gaslight. Then they start to manipulate. Then the true colors of that manipulation and that control come out. But because we've established such a security with them, that's where gaslighting starts to work. Because if you don't have a strong sense of self and you're going, oh my God, did I say that? Oh, wow. Okay. That's my fault. Then all of a sudden you start to question your own reality. And the reason a trauma bond starts to take effect is because it vacillates between the two. You go from somebody that when you have conflict and when they do it, but then they come back, but look how much I love you. I do this because I'm there for you. So you're going, this person cares so much about me, as if it's your caregiver, right? If your parents said something, you'd say, of course I trust them. It's my mom and dad. They love me. This isn't your mother or father. So if you're somebody that had a trauma bond, we have so much to unpack besides the bond. Do you trust yourself? Do you know what a gut reaction even feels like? Or do you understand what the anxiety feels like? Do you know what was happening in your body? Are you aware of the thoughts that were coming up? Were you ever even able to set a boundary with this person? What was your reality versus what happened in the situation? Trauma bonds I was in one. I was married to a narcissist and I thought I was the worst person in the entire planet. And I thought I was just the raging piece of shit. And when we broke up, I was the end of it. And what I needed to do was assess my part in it, because we also have a part. You're not always the victim here. And so if you're coming out of it, it's understanding, wow, I had such low self-esteem that this person coming on strong to me, that's what I wanted so bad. I wanted someone to choose me because I see myself so low that them validating me made me feel valid. And then it's taking the space. It's seeing the situation, not idealizing that person any longer and going, wait, this person hurt me. This person manipulated me. This person gaslit me. And I allowed it. I allowed it because I didn't know any better. There's an aspect of accountability, self-awareness, and also self-trust that comes into moving on from a trauma bond.
And it sounds like just that familiarity with it will actually be attractive to us in a weird way. We know we shouldn't be, but it just feels like home. So we end up in these relationships again. But I guess the exercise is have awareness. This is not healthy. Let me get out of this before it turns into a marriage.
Boundaries. Boundaries are going to be, because people that are narcissists do not do well with boundaries. That's why has anyone ever noticed that somebody that love bombs you and comes on really strong, and then the minute something changes, when you call them out and say, hey, what's going on? You try to set a boundary, all of a sudden they discard you. You know what? I'm not ready for a relationship. I've realized that. Instead of saying, hey, you're right, I came on strong. That was me sending mixed messages. I came on and I did all this. No, there's no accountability. It's, you know what? They discard. I'm done with you. Because if they get found out, oh, no. There's nothing. Instead, it's you. It's your problem. So setting boundaries and holding those boundaries, being in touch with yourself, knowing and I get it. If you only know anxiety, listening to yourself is going to be tough. But that's where working with a therapist or a coach or somebody that can help you to say, hey, no, that's valid. These are valid thoughts, to teach you what does healthy dating actually look like, so that when you feel it. I had a client, the same thing. She got love bombed, saying it was a typical of this situation. And she was so confused. And then when we unpacked it, she was like, holy shit, I now see every step along the way where I needed to start setting boundaries. If you look and you start asking questions and you really listen to what somebody says, trust me, they'll divulge everything about themselves without even realizing it.
Yeah, it's like you're data seeking. It's like you don't want to hear that. It's going to feel bad, but you're like, good to know. I know what a red flag is. And now hopefully I'll, give it a chance, or I'll learn to escape this quickly. So that's a good lesson. That's hard to do on your own. So I think like a coach, a podcast, even Instagram clips, you start to like learn these new skills.